Because I got high, because I got high, because I got high. Da, 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 da. So, as you can tell by the title of this video, I am going to talk about my experience and the times when I got high. So, first of all, let's give you girl a round of applause. Woo! Because I am like 3 months, probably like 3 months now. I don't really know for real. It's been like 3 months since I haven't smoked any marijuana. And that was difficult for me. So I just want to talk a little bit about it on a more serious note for real, because let me get comfortable. But I want to talk about it because it affected me a lot. So
I need you to be about weed. If you put a limit on your love, then count me. Girl,
growing up, I grew up around a lot of people who smoked weed, drank liquor, you know, did all the things or whatever, went out, party, all the things. So I never was the type, or I never really wanted to like smoke for real. I was always like a drinker. Like I would always drink. And then during the pandemic, so it was like 2020 had to be. During the pandemic, I was going through like a lost phase of my life where I was completely lost for real. It was like low-key scary. But like thinking back on it now, like how lost I was. That during that time of my life, it was like a really low time of my life where I was just doing all kind of things, anything to kind of get my mind off of reality. So like I was at a bar every week, every other day. I was at the strip club every other day. Not every other day, probably every weekend for real. Because I used to love going to the strip club. And during that time was the time that I started smoking. So I started smoking and it became a habit. Now I moved to Atlanta in January 2021. And that was the first time that I feel like I realized while I was doing marijuana that I was depressed. Moving to Atlanta, not having any family members, and being the person that was already like used to being around family 24/7, it was hard. Like me and my cousin moved to Atlanta together, so we were living in this apartment. I was depressed by the apartment too because it was supposedly like a good little rolls now. Get me right. It was supposedly like a good apartment complex. We had looked at it. They had like, you know, it looked nice and everything. But once we moved in, it was like bugs and stuff everywhere. We lived below some people who felt like they was in a freaking band or something. They was up all times of the night stumping and stuff. Like, and mind you, I moved from Columbia and I was a homeowner in Columbia. So it was different for me. It was different for me. Like I sold my house in Columbia to move to Atlanta. And that's a whole nother story that we'll get into on a whole nother day. But once I got up here, my business, which was I was selling clothes at the time, so I had an online boutique. My business started like going downhill because a lot of my customers in Columbia would like pull up on me. I had a location that they could pull up and pick up their stuff. And prior to the location, my house was the pickup spot. Like y'all was pulling up to the house for sure. So it was different. It was really different. And my cousin would work all day. Like, so we moved together and she would go to work. Now I would be at home because I work from home. My job as an entrepreneur was to make money, right? I was making money at home online over the cell phone, like just posting stuff, making money, making sales, and just having to ship it out. So that changed when I got to Atlanta because business started slowing down. And And I would be in the house almost all day by myself. I still am currently to this day, but it was just different. I didn't have any family members that I could like go around the corner to. There was nobody that I really knew in Atlanta that I could talk to that was like close to me. Now I do have family members in Atlanta, but when you first move down here, it's like, well, I know personally, I ain't feel like bothering nobody. I ain't want to be aggravating nobody. Like, you know, people got lives, people got jobs, people have families, all type of other things that they have going on. So it was difficult for me to adjust. And I think that's when I realized that I was like slick depressed, because I would smoke like 3-4 blunts a day. No lie. For sure 3 every day. Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like for sure. Like, there was no doubt about it. There was no skipping. Just how y'all ain't skipping no meals, I wasn't skipping no blunt. Like, that's just what it was. So I feel like during that time, I started just smoking so much. I remember going in, we had like a little closet outside of on our balcony. And that was like our little smoke room, because you couldn't really like smoke for real in the apartments. So I would go outside. Well, Ariel probably didn't care. She probably did. But I would go outside and I would sit in there and I would just like smoke, just get high and just feel like, I don't know. I just felt like the time would pass by. Like, I don't know. So I would just get high. And I was already depressed because of the space that we were in, like not having my family members. I didn't really want to call and aggravate them. And then business, like, it's plummeting. So it was just like, dang, and everything up here is higher. Like, I went from paying a mortgage to paying rent. So everything was just a big transition for me in life. So boom, that happened. We moved on my birthday. We moved to where I currently stay, which is a 4-bedroom townhouse. Now, this space was way cleaner. I was so happy with it. Like, me and Ariel have our own like separate floors. We are like separated. Like, she don't gotta bother me, I don't gotta bother her. We have our own space. It's enough space. You know, it wasn't like not spacious. So things were fine, right? I started a consulting company and I was just like figuring out my life for real. So I feel like when I was smoking, I was just like hiding the pain of what I really felt, not really confronting it. So instead of me confronting it, I decided to smoke it away. And it's crazy because I feel like I always talk to my mom a lot, and I tell her, like, she knows a lot, almost not like everything about me, but like she's my best friend, like one of my best friends for real. So I really talk to her and tell her a lot. And I just remember feeling like, dang, I know my mama ain't proud of me for doing this. And not even on some just like her being proud of me. It's just, I know she was praying for me to find peace. And I felt like I was finding peace from the marijuana. And I was just like, I mean, I don't know, y'all. It was tough. Like, I felt like I was just finding peace from weed and alcohol, like just blowing my problems away. And she would just like, you know, encourage me, motivate me, talk to me or whatever about the different things. She would never just be on, like, she would tell me every random, like, you know, all right, now you smoking that weed and stuff, that type of thing. But it would never just be on some like being critical of who I was as a person. So she would like motivate me and encourage me to do better and to not, you know, allow it to take over me. But I wasn't thinking about it in that way. So I started going to like meditation. I met King Energy and I started going to meditation classes with him. He read me like a book for filth, for one. And he basically was telling me, like, you have so much light within you that it's no way that you're allowing something to overpower that. Like, and he always told me, like, your gift is to be able to speak. Like, you're someone who can talk to people, who people can feel comfortable listening to, talking to, like comfortable around. So I literally told him I used to go live all the time, which I still do go live, but for like business purposes and stuff, I would be going live, and I would even go live with other people. And I told him it's so crazy because while I would be live, it would be things in my mind that I want to think about, or that I was thinking about that I wanted to say, but I could never get it out. So like I would go back. I barely ever go back and watch my lives, but like one day I went back and I watched the live because I was like, I felt like I wanted to say something, but I couldn't get it out. So I wanted to see, like, was this in my mind? Like, was I just high for real, or did I say this? So I went back and I was like, dang, like you're not able to communicate. And so he told me, like, basically it has a hold over your tongue. Like, it's having a hold over you being able to say what it is that you really want to say. And I really didn't realize it until I decided to stop. And the day I decided to stop, I was going on a New Orleans trip with my best friend, and my cousin went with us, and it was like a friend's trip. And so we went to New Orleans, and the night before, I asked my cousin, did she have something for me to smoke? And because I was all out, and she didn't have nothing. She was about to get some more. So I was like, okay, F it, I'm just not about to smoke no more. And it literally was like a decision that I feel like I wasn't making. I don't even know if this makes sense, but I wasn't making the decision. It just came over me. Like, I wasn't feeling like, dang, I don't feel like I want to talk. I mean, I don't feel like I want to do this no more. I literally was just like, okay, well, maybe this means I'm just going to stop today. I went to the store, bought me a pen, a little CBD pen, because I was like, ooh, child, I'm going on this trip. I know I'm going to need a little something like to mellow me out, because let me tell y'all, I was addicted to the weed. Like, it was a breakfast, lunch, and dinner type situation. I was addicted. There was no doubt about it that I was addicted. Like, even if I wanted to stop, in my mind, there was not a day that went by that I felt like I could just stop smoking. Like, for real. Like, once the feeling started wearing off, I was like, all right, I'm about to get high again. Like, it was that type of deal. So, bringing up the point that I talked to my mom, I always told her, like, once I stopped, I told her, like, I feel like I went through this for a reason, because I couldn't relate to certain things that I've never experienced. So, like, if you know me, you know, like, I am a big family person, and I'm like a stickler when it comes to my people, for real. Like, I don't know, I just be that one. And I was like, you know, I feel like God wanted me to be able to have an open mind about certain things, and be able to really understand the struggle of having an addiction and not being able to just like stop like that. Because it's like people that I love that smoke cigarettes, or that, you know, I mean, like, some of my people that smoke weed, they're not like, might not be addicted to it, right? But cigarette addiction is real, that type of thing. Or alcohol addiction is real. And it's like, I've always been the type to just be like, this is what you need to do. You need to do this because that's not good for you. Why are you acting like that? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? that type of thing. But I really had to realize, like, sis, this is what I told my mom. If I personally would have never went through and experienced what I experienced, my outlook wouldn't be the same, because I'm not the type to just see somebody and can feel what they're going through all the time. Like, for me to really feel what you're going through, I have to have felt it myself. So I'm like, well, you know, maybe this was just for me to experience and see, like, because I've never really had an addiction to anything for real. Like, I'm gonna drink my wine, I'm gonna drink my alcohol. I might have done it in like too excessively at times, but I feel like the marijuana was a real addiction. And because I got high, I just always wanted to be high. And so really understanding that, like, understanding what I went through and how I felt during those times would really give me a different outlook and allow me to be more loving. And I'm really trying to think of the words to use, like, not even accepting, but understanding of what other people may be going through when it comes to, like, being addicted to something. It don't matter what it is. You can be addicted to porn. You can be addicted to sex, drugs, alcohol. Like, it's all an addiction. And I feel like I had to experience that myself to be able to really understand how hard it was to overcome that shit. Like, it was really, really difficult for me. There were days where I just felt like people would, like, talk about how they just, you know, or if they didn't smoke, and this was me, I'm probably gonna be smoking the rest of my life. Like, I might be smoking forever at this point. I never really thought that I would just be able to quit like I did. So, get back to the New Orleans trip. When I went to New Orleans, I bought the pen. So the next night, we went out somewhere, had a ball, right? I come back to the room, I'm looking for the pen. I don't know where the pen at. Now, mind you, I didn't buy no cheap $20 pen. I bought a pen and cartridges that probably was almost $100. And I was quite pissed. So I was like, you know what? This might be my sign that I don't need to smoke nothing. Like, just nothing. Just not even smoke anything at all. So on that trip, I didn't smoke anything at all. After that first night, I had my drinks, and that was the last time that I ever smoked. Like, the last time that I ever smoked. And I want to give y'all a date, because I really don't know the date, but I'm about to find it for y'all, because I know I take, like, a whole lot of pictures and stuff, a whole lot of content. Let's go to months. This was, when did I go to New Orleans? Let's see, it is, and y'all just gonna have to bear with me or fast forward this part or something, because I really want to tell y'all a specific date. Because right now it is September 28th. And I want to say, maybe I can check my text messages versus looking at all these pictures. Oh, here it go, right here. July 14th. So July 14th, I was in New Orleans. Here is some footage for y'all to see. That's me, July 14th in New Orleans. It is September 28th, July, August, September. Okay, so 2 months. I lied. July to August, August to September. It's been 2 months. But honestly, like on some real stuff, it's a blessing because there were days that I feel like I just couldn't stop. Like there were days I just felt like I was stuck. I was stuck on this drug, and that's just what it was. Like I got very, very small. I know y'all was talking about your girl, but guess what? Yeah, thick. Can't tell me nothing now. Anyways, so seriously, like I got small. This was during the time that I was smoking because I was depressed. Like I was so depressed, and I was just doing so many things that was just like trying to cope with what was really going on in life instead of facing it head on. So I feel like I've learned so much from that experience. Like it made me a better person to really be able to see how strong of an individual I am for real. And things have just been skyrocketing for me in my life ever since I stopped smoking for real. Like, things are just beautiful. Like, life is evolving beautifully. I felt like I was stuck in business. I'm getting contracts. I am doing things that I never thought I would be doing. I'm getting paid from in many different ways that I never would have imagined getting paid from. I got a new car. I mean, your girl is pushing. I don't even know if my other video came out yet, so we gonna hold that for y'all to see what kind of new car I got. But yeah, like I just feel like things started elevating for me for real. And one thing I can say is King actually told me that. We had the conversation, and he was like, once you let go of what you don't need, you'll make room for everything that your blessings that you are praying for, that you want to receive. And they'll just start coming in left and right, left and right. And like I said, it's September. That was 2 months ago. Like, all of this has been happening within those 2 months. So, like, I don't know. I just wanted to share that with y'all. Hopefully it'll help somebody that's going through. Like, just know it's okay for you to go through what you go through. Don't feel ashamed of it, because I used to feel very ashamed of the fact that I would smoke. Like, I don't think anybody, if you didn't smoke with me, you didn't know I smoked. So I would never post it on the internet. I would never talk about it. Like, if you didn't smoke with me or I didn't smoke with you, you would have never known that I smoked or smoked around you. So yeah, you could have assumed, because my lips did get real black, like hella black. But, and I started taking, like, I wasn't taking care of myself like I know that I should have been. Like, it was just a lot of things that came along with it for real. But like I said, if you're going through anything for real, like, just be encouraged, be motivated to know that there's power within you. Like, God will redirect your path and lead you down another path that is greater than anything that you could have imagined. And you really just got to trust him. You really just have to, like, I started doing a lot of inner work, a lot of discovering who I was as a person, building a better relationship with God. I come from a church family, so I would just be in church and don't really know much about anything. But I started to develop my own relationship for real with God, and know that God lives within me for real, and that I didn't have to look to the outside world or to anybody on the outside for answers that I could find from within. Praying, I prayed a lot. Hell, I still pray. You see, I just cursed, and I used to say the word prayer in the same sentence. Like, I'm human, but I do feel like I know me. I know my relationship, and can't nobody take that away from me. So people can say what they want to say. Y'all got to let people talk. People talked about me bad, like a dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it is what it is. And I've even had family members that was talking about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, going through those different changes, like body changes, by all of that stuff, it was a difficult time. And yeah, I did stop smoking. I'm about to wrap this video up, honestly. I did stop smoking when I got sick with COVID. I went to my mom's house and I stopped smoking for like 4 days maybe, because I was in Colombia and it was during Christmas time. I think it was Christmas, maybe Thanksgiving maybe, I think. I don't know. But that's when I really lost like a whole lot of weight, because I wasn't eating anything. I had lost my appetite because I was so used to smoking to have an appetite. Y'all, I was crying, like wanting to punch everything, like yelling around the house. Like, I felt like I was in rehab for real. Like, I was going through real withdrawal symptoms. And like, my mama was literally like there for me. I love that lady. She was there for me, like letting me know like it's okay. Like, ooh, I'm getting emotional. She was like, it is okay. What you're going through is okay. Like, you will get through this. I understand how you feel. Like, I might not have experienced it, but I'm here for you. I'm here with you, and it is okay, y'all. Like, I was going through it. I was telling her, like, I can't eat nothing. I just don't have an appetite, Mom. I'm just so used to smoking. I just want to smoke. I'm just so used to it. Like, and it was really a challenge. So, like, I really felt like I was in recovery, in rehab, going through. But yeah, this was all, like, just a life lesson, like, for real. So, like I said, you've experienced it, if you've gone through any type of addiction, like, hopefully you can watch this video, or hopefully you have family members or somebody that can be there with you to support you, because it was rough. Like, it was hard. It was definitely hard. But I made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always another day. It's always tomorrow. Tomorrow. So, well, that concludes my Because I Got High video. I just wanted to let y'all know a little bit about a little insight on me, and hopefully that helps somebody for real. Sharing my life with y'all and the things that I've experienced, and how, you know, like, stopping doing certain things has changed my life for real. And just always keep God first. I know people tell you to pray and stuff, but, like, don't just pray. You have to really want a deeper connection and a relationship with the Most High, or whoever it is that you pray to. And don't ever sway away from that. Like, stay grounded in that for real, because can't nobody else give you what you're looking for. You can't find it from no other outside source. So, I love y'all, my nation crew. And yeah, I'll be back with another video.